What's cooking, people? I'm Blake, and you've just walked into another episode of Built by Becker. Can you hear that? That's the sound of my third coffee this morning, and trust me, I'm gonna need it because today's episode is massive. You walk into your kitchen every morning, and instead of feeling inspired, you feel, well, let's just say, we've all been there. But don't worry, in the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you 15 mind-blowing kitchen secrets that will make everybody jealous. We're talking game-changing, jaw-dropping, why didn't I think of that kind of ideas that will make your friends think you hired a very expensive designer. But you didn't. You just watched Built by Becker. Let's kick things off, shall we? Forget your grandma's subway tiles. We're going full on Flintstones fabulous with rough cut walls. We're talking the stone, baby. Now, I know what you're thinking. Blake, have you lost your mind? Stone inside the kitchen? But hear me out. This trend has been absolutely exploding over the past few years, and for good reason. Imagine taking that gorgeous natural stone you typically see on your home's exterior or wrapped around your fireplace and bringing it inside. It's like bringing the magic of Tuscany right into your breakfast nook. And the best part, it adds this incredible texture interest. So if you're feeling fancy and you can even carry the same stone into the adjacent rooms, creating this seamless flow that will seem like your home is a high-end resort or maybe high up in a ski mountain. Next, let's talk about something that's been revolutionizing kitchen: storage. Bespoke storage solutions are on fire right now. And I'm not talking about those generic drawer organizers you can pick up at any home store. I'm talking about custom, personalized storage that is as unique as your cooking style. Why? Well, why not? With this option, we're designing specific zones based on your daily kitchen routines. Think about a dedicated knife drawer with a custom cut wooden block that holds each knife perfectly in its place. No more searching through the utensil drawer and accidentally grabbing the wrong end. Ouch! For those who love their kitchen gadgets, we're creating appliance cubbies or garages with built-in electrical outlets. These spaces can be sized perfectly for your specific machines, whether it's a stand mixer, food processor, or that fancy espresso machine. The best part, when you're done using them, they slide back into their dedicated space, keeping your counters clear and your appliances dust-free. The key here is to really think about, how do you use your kitchen? Are you a bread baking enthusiast? Are you a gourmet chef? Consider a special drawer with the perfect humidity for sourdough starter. And do you like entertaining, or do you need a specific space for all your kitchen gadgets? Create dedicated space for all your serving platters. The possibilities here are endless, and the organization is life-changing. Now, speaking of organization, it's time to talk about exposed pantries. Let me be completely honest with you. I wasn't always a fan of them. Who wants everyone to see their pantry mess, right? But here's the thing. When it's done correctly, an exposed pantry can be good. We're looking at glass front walls or strategically placed glass partitions that transform your storage space into a visual feature. But it's all about execution. The glass itself can vary from completely clear to slightly frosted, or even textured glass that adds a bit of mystery while still letting some light through. I've also found that using steel frame glass panels gives this incredible architectural element that elevates the whole kitchen design. Now, before you start panicking about your jumbled collection of half-empty cereal boxes, think about the potential. This design choice adds this incredible charm to your kitchen, especially if you're into that English cottage aesthetic. Plus, it's a great motivation to keep things organized. Imagine all your ingredients beautifully displayed, matching glass containers, your spices arranged by color or alphabetically if you're insane, and you keep those, well, hidden snacks maybe behind some decorative items. It's like having your own little grocery store display right there in the kitchen. Now, next up are the creative countertop edges. Gone are the days when basic, square, eased edge is your only option. We're seeing everything from dramatic OG edges to rough, raw edges that look like they were just carved out of a mountain. One of my favorite trends, Mixing different edge profiles within the same kitchen. Maybe you go with a classic OG on the perimeter counters, but opt for a more dramatic edge on your island. It's these little details that take your kitchen from nice to wow. Who's your designer? They will ask, and you can whisper, built by Becker. Speaking of that wow factor, let me introduce you to integrated stone sinks. This is honestly one of my top 3 favorite design elements. Instead of dropping in a standard stainless steel or porcelain sink, imagine creating your entire sink basin out of the same material as your countertops. Whether you're working with marble, quartzite, granite, or soapstone, an integrated sink creates this seamless, high-end look that's absolutely stunning. Fair warning, once you go integrated stone sink, you'll never look at a regular sink the same way again. Next is honestly one of my absolute favorites, and it's kitchen islands. You know those moments when you're cooking and thinking, I wish my island could do more? Well, that's exactly what sparked this next trend, the island extension. Here's the deal. We're talking your standard kitchen island, and then we're going to give it a serious upgrade by adding a functional twist. Instead of just having one continuous counter, we're creating distinct zones by extending a portion of the island with different materials and varying heights. Trust me, once you understand the possibilities here, you'll never look at a regular island the same way again. The secret lies in the contrast. We're using different materials for both the base and the countertop of the extension. Maybe you've got a sleek quartz island, but then it transitions into a rich walnut butcher block extension. Or perhaps your painted island base flows into a section with exposed wood in a complementary tone. But the versatility is what makes this feature truly brilliant. Need a designer prep zone? We can add a lowered butcher block section that's perfect for chopping and kneading. Want to create a more intimate dining experience? Consider a raised bar height extension with comfortable seating. I recently designed one where we incorporated built-in wine rack and bookshelf right at the extension. It became this gorgeous focal point that totally transformed how the family used their kitchen. The key to making this work is thoughtful planning. You need to consider traffic flow, how you'll actually use your kitchen and the space, what materials will both complement your existing design and then stand up to daily use. The height differences between sections need to be intentional. Too subtle and it looks like a mistake. Too dramatic and it becomes impractical. The next thing, skirted cabinetry. But before you start having flashbacks to your grandma's kitchen, let me tell you that this trend has made a serious comeback. We're seeing it mostly under sinks or standalone base cabinets, and when it's done right, it adds an incredible softness to all the hard surfaces in a kitchen. Plus, it's probably the easiest DIY project you could tackle. If you can operate a tension rod, you know how to hem fabric, or you know someone who does, you're golden. Coming in next, plumbing fixtures. Look, I get it. After spending big bucks on countertops and cabinets, it's tempting to try to save money here. But listen up, because this might be the most important thing I tell you today. Your plumbing fixtures can either elevate your kitchen or make it look like you ran out of budget halfway through. So it's better to invest in quality pieces with beautiful finishes that stand the test of time. Think about it. Your faucet is probably the single most used item in your kitchen. Touch it countless times a day, your guest will interact with it, and it's often sitting in the center of your main workspace. So choose wisely. Moving on to something that can add serious character to your space. Hutch style cabinetry and shelving. This is where we take an inspiration from those beautiful traditional hutches that probably lived in your family's dining room and brought that charm right into the kitchen. Picture upper cabinets sitting on top of lower countertop, creating this built-in furniture look that adds instant character. It's like having a piece of history in your kitchen, but with all the modern conveniences. Next design idea, range hoods, cladded in stone, metal, or tile. I know, they're coming back. You wanna know the first thing I look at when I walk into a kitchen? It's not the countertops, not the fancy appliances, it's that statement-making range hood. When it's done right, it becomes an absolute crown jewel of your kitchen. We're seeing mind-blowing designs out there, from intricate handmade tiles that tell a story, to burnished metals that develop this gorgeous patina over time, to natural stone that makes you feel like you're cooking in that Tuscan villa. This isn't about function anymore. It's about creating a jaw-dropping focal point that makes people stop in their tracks when they step into your kitchen. Moving on. And this one is a game changer because it doesn't require ripping out a single cabinet. We're talking about layering tonal colors. This isn't about slapping the same color on everything. It's about creating this sophisticated depth through careful chosen color variations. Think about this. Your perimeter cabinets might be a beautiful soft blue, while the island goes on with a little bit bolder, deeper, richer tone of blue. Then your trim comes in with that perfect middle ground that ties it all together. I just finished a kitchen where we used the same 3 different colors of blue, and let me tell you, it looks like it belongs in a design magazine. The best part is it's something that you can do whether you're working with a professional painter or tackling it as a DIY project. And speaking of layering, let's talk about mixing hard surface materials, because think about all the different surfaces in your kitchen: countertops, backsplash, cabinetry, flooring, even your sink. The key is to create a thoughtful mix that builds layers both tonally and texturally. Maybe pair a natural stone countertop with a handmade tile backsplash. Mix stained and painted cabinetry and top it off with complementary but not matching flooring. It's like a perfectly balanced recipe, but with the materials instead of ingredients. And now let's add some European flair to the mix. European inspired details are making a huge comeback. We're talking about carved moldings, checkered floors, I know, antique lighting, exposed beams, and even unique hardware like exposed hinges. These details add this incredible sense of heritage and charm to your space. It's like taking a little trip to Europe every time you walk into your kitchen. The special touch, this is something that can make your kitchen from basic to breathtaking, incorporating wall paneling and exposed beams. While we often think of these architectural elements in other rooms of the house, bringing them into the kitchen adds an incredible depth and character. Whether you go for traditional wall moldings or more contemporary applications, these details can transform your kitchen into a truly custom space. Want to take things up a notch? Consider inlaying woven metal, glass, or fabric into your cabinet doors. This detail adds an incredible visual interest that can completely transform the look of standard cabinetry. And there you have it, folks. 15 custom kitchen ideas that will transform your space from ordinary to extraordinary. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and drop a comment below telling me which one of these ideas was your favorite. Until next time, this is Blake from Built by Becker.